Welcome to the final episode of our game ranking. Join Enviroboy, CohesiveKey, and NewsManBoyer. Hot takes, bad jokes, and great games.
What's up, friends? How's it going? Hi, everyone. Hi, we're gonna do more talking about video games. I'm Enviroboy. I'm here with my buddies Scott and Cody. They're here again. We never originally thought this was going to be maybe more than 1 or 2 episodes, and here we are on the 4th one, and it's because none of us knows how to shut up about the video games we like. So we're gonna keep going with the ranked list thing. So isn't that fun? How's it going, guys?
It's good.
I'll buy it at a high price.
He's already excited about one of the games.
Stop! You violated the law. Pay the court a fine or serve your sentence.
Is that I get them all mixed up. That one's directly from Oblivion, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I was gonna say that one's the topical
OG.
one. That's topical right there. We were just talking before we actually started recording how amazing it is that since the last episode, the Oblivion remake was kind of shadow dropped on us, and we were already sitting there talking about we ranked it as nostalgia bait, and I think it you guys mentioned it, and I agree that it's kind of worth bringing up. That we have it there. It's so perfect that we put it there because we are excited that it's there. I haven't played it yet, but apparently they had respect enough for the nostalgia that they have not removed some of the most fun glitches.
The zaniness, the wackiness, all intact.
It's like they brought up all the high res textures, but still managed to make the characters look goofy as hell. I mean, it's perfect.
I feel like
it's perfect.
I feel like with the updates they were able to do with it, they had all the chances to remove those glitches and to remove the wackiness, but I mean, easily could have knocked the dents out of it. But nah, they kept them. And
they kept those sharp edges right on the square. They didn't grind them down. I'm happy for it.
I'm not even exaggerating. I was recording. I don't even know if by the time I put this episode, because I always just put these episodes on like the next day or two after I recorded them, as long as I remember to. But I've been recording myself playing Elden Ring. And I know I talked about in one of the episodes of it recently while I was recording, I talked about the Oblivion remake. And I said exactly in there, I was like, I know they remade it. And I know it's like a full remake, not just like a quick graphical uptick. But I hope they didn't get rid of the glitches. Literally something I said while recording. So past me is going to be ecstatic.
Check it out when you get a chance. You'll enjoy it.
Oh, it's so good.
It's phenomenal.
Right. I've got the couple of names here. I'm ready to draw out the first title when you boys are.
Do it. Let's dive into it.
All right.
Absolutely.
So the first title is Mario Kart Double Dash.
Oh, heck yeah, man. This game is so good. I know I put this one in there. Did anyone? I forget. Did any of you guys nominate this one?
I nominated it. Yeah, I nominated this one too.
I think I had it because I had a first string of nominations and I had to narrow it down. And I think that was one of the ones that unfortunately fell off of the list when I narrowed it down.
That's fair.
But it was there.
It's all the better. It makes for more
I was
diversity.
going to say, I strategically took games off that I knew you guys had on there because it's like, oh, good, we can still talk about it. And so now I can be strategic about my 10.
Same.
So what is there to say about Mario Kart Double Dash?
It always was, always will be the best Mario Kart they ever made. And I will fight people about that one.
Mario Karts are great.
And we'll see the newest one. But because they're working on the new one for Switch 2, and so never say never. Maybe I shouldn't say always will be, but it is still the best Mario Kart they've ever made, and I will die on this hill.
I pretty much agree with you.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, my complaint about the newer Mario Karts is the same complaint about the newer Pokemon games. You don't have to do any special stuff to unlock the new characters or the special characters. It kind of removes a lot of the fun. I mean, you don't have to grind like crazy in Mario Kart Double Dash or Mario Kart 64 in order to have fun. You can still have a blast with that game.
Oh yeah.
But if you want to get Petey Piranha, you want to get King Boo, you had to do the courses in certain ways, and you had to challenge yourself.
Yeah.
They removed a lot of that challenge and fun. In the newer games, unfortunately.
It's just like the coin-based thing. I was
going to say.
Yeah.
So the last true game where you have to unlock things.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't unlock anything anymore. You just buy the one for Switch that has it all with the word deluxe on it, and then you have everything. Yeah, yes, you can unlock the cards.
And it's a fun game. It's a fun party game, but there's not a lot of challenge to it like there was in the old games.
Right, yeah. Like, that's the thing. Like, I understand the move from a standpoint of trying to make a game that's fun for everyone, accessible to everyone, right? Broaden your audience. So I understand it, but at the same time, I hate it.
I mean, that was the beautiful thing about Double Dash is it was a perfect party game, casual game, but it also had something there for, like, the diehard, get good types.
Yeah, like you really did. Like, you didn't need those extra characters for it to just be a fun game that you can break out and play. Like, I remember. I remember one of the first, like, this is such a college story. But when I was in college, I guess when we were all in college, we were all kind of there at roughly the same time. But at one point, I was at a party with a group of friends. And they decided to play Drunk Mario Kart, and it was Double Dash, even though there had been a new one since then. Like, it was like Mario Kart drunk driving was the idea, and it was really funny. And it was hard because, like, I don't drink, so it was kind of hard to participate. But I feel like we made rules where it was like, instead of me, like, getting progressively drunker, I just had to progressively drink more. So it was like I had like a cup of water, and by the end of it, it was like, because, like, for most people it'd be like, you have to finish your beer by the end of, like, the certain race or something like that. And so, like, you would just get a fresh one at the beginning of each new race or something like that. Like, I forget the exact rules. And for me, it was just like, at first it was one glass of water. Yeah. And it was like, but then by the end of it, I had like 8 glasses of water that I had to chug to, like, make mine progressively difficult as well. And it was insane. And it was all thanks to Double Dash. It was all thanks to Double Dash that I enjoyed one of my earliest, like, quintessential college experiences.
Mario Kart. And Double Dash opened a whole new door for Mario Kart, because since you had, especially if you did the co-op thing where one person drove and one person shot then we did these things in college, and there was actually a couple of bars that I know of once I was well beyond college that would do Double Dash specifically, because one of the main rules of Mario Kart was when you took your drink, you couldn't be driving. You had to, like, pull over. You had to stop.
Yeah, and that's where it came for me, just having to drink more. It's like I just had to stop more. So even though I wasn't getting worse at driving, I had to stop more frequently.
With co-op, with someone else, you just be like, quick, we got to switch. So you could be in the back chucking items, finishing off your beer while the other person's doing the work. But then
that sounds like a blast. I never experienced this.
We'll have to make sure it happens one day.
Because I have all sorts of time to just get drunk now.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And what the most comical part of that was, too, once you got both of the people well schnockered, now you're going to be like, we got to switch. Oh, man, when was the last time we switched? I don't remember. Let's switch anyway.
Everyone's getting louder, too, so you can't hear each other. It's great stuff.
Right.
Even aside from that, though, I think one of the things... Like, one of the things that was so great about Double Dash... that I loved and I missed. Like, they brought it back where you can have, like, 2 items and stuff like that. But the thing that was beautiful about Double Dash is when you were, like, on your own, you could strategize which items to keep and which ones to like use. And that added such a unique dynamic thing about it, because, like, it's so much of it now is just, well, you just got to use the item, and it's like, whereas with Double Dash, you could strategically, like, you'd be like, this item is really good when I'm in the lead, so I'm gonna hold on to this until I catch up. Because, like, if you had your triple, like, your triple green shells or something like that, you'd want to keep that for when you were in the lead, because those suckers that's like a shield all floating around you. So you would strategically hold on to that until you were in the lead, and it made it such a more strategic game, whether they meant it to be that way or not. It was so good.
Or holding on to the Z button the whole time to keep that green shell behind you if you only had one. Blast. Where do we put this? Where do we put this one? Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Correct me if I'm wrong. No, just if I'm wrong, correct me. But I think Double Dash was the one that introduced the Sonic, like the radio box, the thing that you could use that would, like, I don't know, you use the item and it would pulse that thing around you.
The only thing that could counter a blue shell.
The only thing that could counter the blue shell.
I don't remember. That may have been subsequent.
I would say, I think that one was a bit later. I think it was a bit later, but I could be wrong.
Okay.
I think that might have been the first Wii. I think that might have been the
only
first
time
iteration of the Wii.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that you're right. I think you're right. I'll only give the future. I'll put it that way. Then I'll only give the future variations, or the the ones that came after Double Dash ones, the 1 point, because they introduced that little item.
Mhm.
That's
I mean, it's
kind
true
of fun.
that the blue shells were completely OP, but
Yeah.
Oh, man.
it was like the random number generator pretty much, assured that only people in like the lowest positions would ever get it.
Yeah.
So they'd have a chance to take it back a little bit.
Right.
Well, it's a good racing game. I don't really know where to put this one. I mean, I'm tempted to put it in Everyone Must Play because it's just a blast of a game. It's a lot of fun. Everybody should enjoy this game. I
was gonna say, just because of the social aspects of it too. Like, I feel like this game was peak couch, like party game and stuff like that you just don't have nowadays, because the emphasis, you can still do your couch multiplayer with all the current Mario Kart games and stuff like that. The emphasis is so much on online multiplayer these days, and this was like one of the last ones before that was really a thing.
This is a great game to play with like your family when you have.
It's still,
kids someday.
honestly, like, I have a GameCube. If I can convince people, it's still my preferred go-to Mario Kart game if we're gonna play.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Did the DS Super Mario Kart come after this? Because I feel like Double Dash was one of the main entries. Yeah, Double Dash was primary entry after Mario Kart 64. Yeah. So it was the first time we had a Mario Kart that we were unlocking characters, not only the 2 characters. So one might be able to argue the whole game changer thing. It did change the face of Mario Kart. Yeah, which is a big game.
It changed a lot, but I mean, it wasn't like Mario 64, which is I think that was like the true game changer.
And I'm sitting here thinking, I almost want to put it in still holds up today, exactly what we're talking about, because like this game is still it's still unique, and because it's a simple Mario Kart game, the graphics aren't really a jarringly old school thing to look at. It's not like pulling out the old Tomb Raider and it's like, oh, she's got a couple triangles on her chest. It's real funny. It's like, it still looks good because it's just Mario. It's a little low def, but other than that, it's just a lot of Mario.
Places. This one fits in a lot of places.
I should have put the picture in here like 5 times.
I thought of Everyone Must Play, not because it's like a high-minded piece of art. It's just a good time. Yeah. This is not like, you must play this game. It'll change your life. It's like, you should try this game.
I feel like we should put it in there exactly because of that, because the rest of them are all like, oh man, this game is like maybe Pokemon, a slight exception, but generally speaking, it's all like, oh man, like these games, they're such amazing games with like the storytelling and the atmosphere and all that kind of stuff. Whereas with Mario Kart, it's like, dude, just have fun with your friends. Holy crap.
Right. Super Smash Bros. Effect.
That was my thought, but I'm game to put it anywhere.
I don't know. I like that. I think that's a good reason to put it in Everyone Must Play. Because I feel like also Everyone Must Play implies at least one other of these, like for any of them too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I agree. I just figured throw in that one little note, but I mean, I agree that it's an Everyone Must Play party game essential. Yeah. Really.
Yeah.
I've got the next title ready if you boys are ready.
Oh, I'm so ready.
All right. It is Enter the Gungeon.
All right.
I nominated this. Cody's played this, I know.
Nomination.
Cody's played this. I don't know if you've played it, Scott.
I've played it. It didn't click with me when I played it, but I understand the appeal, and part of me wants to try it again because it's definitely, I'll let you go into more detail, but when I played it, it was one of those games where I was like, I'm not in the headspace to want this right now. But there are other times, like other roguelikes and stuff like that are the same thing, where it's like sometimes I'll play and I'll be like, you know what, this just isn't scratching the itch, and then like sometimes months or years later I'll go back to the same game and I'll be like, yeah, this is exactly what I want now. So I didn't hate it, but it didn't do it for me when I played it. But I get it. So, but I'll let you guys get into it.
I'll explain my love for it initially.
Yeah.
I'll probably agree with you.
This is a roguelike, and I'm a pretty big fan of roguelikes. We didn't have it nominated any of them because I just didn't really think of it, but I had to put in Enter the Gungeon. It's just a really charming, well crafted game. Like the people who made this game have a love for video games, pop culture, and they put so much of that love into it. There's for one thing, the gameplay itself is just quite fun. The animations are kind of pixelated. There's a lot of goofy animations and stuff. You're basically like this person who's fighting these animated bullets and shotgun shells. It's so much fun. Now,
all sorts of variants of shells.
It is a tough as nails game. It is tough.
I remember that distinctly when I played it. I was like, this game is hard.
You will not beat this game the first time that you play it. It's not possible. You'll die a lot.
Yeah.
But that's kind of part of the fun. Is
right. I mean, that's what a good roguelike is meant to be.
Yeah. Now, where the well-crafted portion comes in is there's just endless references. Every new gun that you get, and there's hundreds of them, is a reference to some video game or piece of pop culture. There's a reference to the Cenobites from Hellraiser. There's a reference to Bloodborne. There's a reference to Dark Souls. There's reference to Mario.
Yeah.
I mean, it's everything. If I was to write down all the video game and pop culture references,
Terminator, Ghostbusters.
Yep, it's all there. I would run out, and I wouldn't even know half of them.
Yeah,
Portal. It's all in there.
It's just a blast. And also underneath it, you have kind of a shallow, fun story about this dungeon where, this guy went to try and kill his past, and it's your goal to try and kill your past. It's all kind of abstract, and it doesn't have a lot of meaning. It's just a really good time. There's some funny kind of nonsensical lore in it, and me being a lore hound, I got into it a little bit, but it's just sense. Silliness. I don't even know where to put this one. If I was to have to put it down somewhere, I could argue game changer still holds up today, or maybe personal favorite. It's probably not a game changer because there's a lot of other bullet hell roguelikes that are similar to it. Like Nuclear Throne is often compared to it, and I think Nuclear Throne came first. I haven't really played that one, so I couldn't say.
The only reason I'll preface that I love Enter the Gungeon. I'm not sure about Game Changer, because I was trying to scratch the Binding of Isaac itch. After I found the Binding of Isaac, that is a amazing roguelike in its own right. Yeah, you get past the little piles of poop, the flies, the religious, everything that's tied into it, because there's so much. That's why Nintendo didn't pick it up for a long time, because of what's, the messages behind it. You are killing babies. Binding of Isaac
is dark as hell. Man, it is dark.
Yes. But it's incredible, the depth of it, the amount of items you can get. And that's kind of what Enter the Gungeon is, except instead of body-enhancing items, you get guns. You get all these different guns that shoot all these different things. Some of them are pop culture. Other one is literally, I like the one that comes to mind is the snow cannon, where you're shooting snowballs. Every once in a while, one of your snowballs is going to have a rock in it. So it's got all these little, social Easter eggs in it, too. Like when you're a kid, there's always that one jerk kid that put the rock in the snowball. So that's there.
Yeah.
Then there's the money gun. There's the mailbox gun where you're literally shooting pieces of mail at somebody, but every once in a while, one of the packages is a bomb. So each one's got its own thing.
Man. It's absurd. It's it's great.
But there's so much to it. And nostalgia bait, I feel like they wanted it to be something like that too.
You know what? Because it does kind of fit well into nostalgia bait, and not in a bad way.
Plays with the pixels, in a fun way. The music is like that. When you pick up the photon beam, the photon blaster from Ghostbusters, you're like, oh, that's cool. There's some guns that they got the same sound effects for them. So when you shoot that gun, you hear the photon beam. Okay. Or you hear there's the noisy crickets in there from Men in Black, the little tiny gun that makes you fly backward. That's in there too. So it all makes similar things, the little quotes that they say because of it. And there's a lot of thought, there's a lot of depth and secret places you can find.
You make a good argument, Cody. I agree. I think nostalgia bait probably is appropriate.
It's like a game that wants to be nostalgia bait. It's got a new format for it.
You are absolutely right.
To scratch it.
Yeah.
I'm the one who nominated the game, but you made the most compelling argument here.
And like I say, I don't have a horse in this race. I don't have much to say on it, so I'll take your guys' word at it. But the way you're describing, I think that sounds about right, that it's there, because it sounds like the thing that's fun about it is because there's so much referential humor that was relevant to the time. It's one of those interesting things where it's to newer people coming in, it might get more and more distant to them, as time passes and more people pick it up, depending on how into past culture references they are. So it's it might become more and more that way, exactly because as we continue to age and go back to the game, we'll remember the references that were relevant to us at the time when the game came out and we were super involved in the game, and then as more and more people pick it up, it will mean less and less to them.
Well, there's a sequel. There's a sequel coming out now. It was one of the it'll be one of the launch titles for the Switch 2, I think.
Oh, is it really? Wow.
Yeah.
Yep.
Good for them.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, I'm ready for the next one if you guys are.
Heck yeah.
Okay. Sorry. Next one is Resident Evil 4.
Resident Evil 4. This is a fun one for me because I'm presently playing and recording the remake of Resident Evil 4 on my channel. So
you are.
Yeah.
So we should clarify, are we going to talk about the original or are we going to talk about the remake? I guess we can talk about both.
I would say we can kind of talk about both at the same time, kind of like, discussing the Oblivion remake at the same time.
Yes, certainly.
And the Dead
stories.
Space one. That's why I feel like we talked about RE4, but it was the Dead Space and then me throwing in the remake junk.
Yeah.
But
I mean, like what's interesting about it is the fact that they remade it as intensely as they did kind of speaks to everything we would talk about with the original. So like in talking about the original kind of inherently is talking about the remake in a lot of ways.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm in a good position to talk about this one. I'm not sure if I nominated or if Cody did. Cody, you've got the most experience with this game. I know you do. Of all three of us.
And hands down, and I know there might be a handful of people out there to be like, "You're wrong, back down." But I feel like there's
it's the internet. Of course, there are.
Yeah, I feel like the majority is this is the best RE game in existence.
I definitely hear that argument tossed around a lot.
Yeah. It was the first one that threw in over the shoulder. It was the first one that threw in all of this more active mechanic that you can use instead of the fixed. And now there's a lot of folks that argue like the fixed perspective cameras that were all in the old ones were added to the suspense, added to that. But those same people that would argue that might not have made it to the sewers underneath Salazar's castle in RE4. Because there's that section in that, and there's plenty of sections. I just refer to this one because it haunts me to this day. That where you have to go up against what they call his right-hand man.
Oh, that's awful. It's the worst.
Crazy. If you think this is going back in the 90s, Animorphs, if you're thinking to the Hort Bajer type thing.
Be careful bringing up Animorphs with me. I love those books so gosh darn much.
Well, like the Hort Bajer, the beaked, peaceful ones. This is similar to that. Not peaceful. This thing is like the thing that you have to go up against is intense. It is stronger. It is faster than you. It kind of makes you feel like you're going up against a xenomorph.
Yeah.
But that was just one segment. Like this was a game that opened up combat. It opened up ways to navigate that.
Mm-hmm.
And the story was really good. Like it wasn't as corny as some of the other ones are.
Yeah.
I'd say it's pretty corny.
It includes a lot of corniness. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah. But that's part of the charm of it.
Leon's one-liners are up there in history of just like the most hasta luego. Like he's got these crazy one-liners that are like, oh, Leon.
What is it, time for bingo?
Yeah, they're that's the one when they're all like going to the church or something, right?
Yeah, time for bingo.
Yeah. So
I can't remember if that's from the remake or if it's
it's in both. He says it in both.
Yeah.
I love that they include it in the remake, and you're playing it now. As soon as he said it, I gave it a silent applause. They had to keep that line.
Yeah, this one's an interesting one for me because I actually I have played the original, but I never beat the original, and I remember playing I picked it up probably when I was just for me because it kind of came out right at that age for us where it's we were I don't know about you guys, but I know for me it kind of came out right when I was on the cusp of being ready for more intense games like that. I was young enough that I hadn't really played actual intense RPG type games very much, so I was interested in them, but I was not good at them yet. And so I remember renting this game, back when you could rent a video game. Who remembers that?
Blockbuster. What's that?
Yeah, right, seriously. But I remember renting this game and being endlessly frustrated and not being able to make it very far and never renewing it. So I have strong memories of parts of this game, but they're all early parts of it and I never beat it. And so now I'm going back and playing, and just to I'm going through all of the Resident Evils, but for the sake of sort of expediting, I'm not playing original and remakes of them. I'm basically just playing whatever the newest iteration I can get of each game is, and that's just that's the decision I made. There's pros and cons to having to have done that as opposed to playing originals. But that's just kind of how I went for it because it sounded more fun. But yeah, so like I don't have a whole lot of experience with the original beyond just like you say, like remembering that was like, for me, it was kind of an eye-opening experience of like, oh, games could be like hard. Like there's like, oh, this Mario level's kind of hard, but I'll practice and I'll get it. And then there's like, this game wants me to lose. Like I remember that being kind of an eye-opening thing. It's kind of like when the first time you sit down and play a Dark Souls game or something, you're like, oh, this game hates me. This game has disdain for me as the player.
Well, and the thing that I mentioned, like the case in point, that thing in the sewer, the creators of this game said straight up, you are not meant to defeat that creature. You are meant to run. You are meant to solve this puzzle of these doors and try to survive, because you literally have to fight that thing, in case in point again, with like a time. You're trying to kill time. You're waiting for the power to return to the stupid elevator. Yeah. And the whole time that elevator is coming up, you got to survive against this thing and slow it down. You can kill it. And if you do kill it, you get a beautiful reward for it. Yeah. But otherwise, you're not supposed to kill it. And this is another case like the Dead Space conversation we had several videos ago, several podcasts ago. This is a remake that holds up and adds to it. Like it's the same story, but different dialogue, same voice actors, which is beautiful. Yeah,
they removed some of the more problematic content, like Louis Sarah talking about the president's daughter's ballistics.
I think
that's gone. If I remember correctly.
And they made Ashley a little bit. They made her a little bit more practical in this one. She's not because in the original one she's more confident, fights a little bit better. The sceneries, the maps are enhanced. Some of them are essentially the same, but otherwise there's all these new things you can do with the maps. There's a different approach
in the remake.
Yeah. The intro, rather than just walking up to the house and seeing the one Ganados just standing there with an axe and throwing, like now you go into this cabin and it's far darker. You go into that basement and you see it gets creepier.
The team learned from 7 and 8 and they were like, oh, this is good. Let's utilize that.
Yeah. And I mean, that's why some folks are saying RE Village is becoming one of the best ones now, because if you look at it and take the map and actually lay it down and how they lay it all out, they took notes from RE4. Yeah. They brought that back, and how RE4 separated itself from its previous, like how RE7 or RE Village is going away from the one with the crazy family, Biohazard. Yeah. And it's cool that they are able to make remakes that not only hold up, but do justice to an old game that is considered the best.
It's how I feel like a proper remake should be done. Like there are reasons to not always do it exactly that way, but for me it's kind of like, if you're gonna bother, let's bother, like let's actually do this, and so like I appreciate when they do stuff like that. Like for me, like we're gonna talk about it in more detail, but like with the Paper Mario, they did the remake for the Switch, and they really updated the graphics, but they didn't much change the game, although like there's good reasons for having done that. But when you go back to one of like a game as old as RE4, right, and like how clunky the original is, like if we went back and played the original on like, what was it, PlayStation 2, was that the era? Like I'm sure it would feel like, oh my gosh, this is excruciating trying to get controls and stuff. It's like trying to play the first one.
You say that, but I mean, I played this not that long ago. I think it was 2019. Modern era games, right. And talking about this game from a historical perspective, if you don't mind the caveat, this is a weird one, right? It's, it was one of the first breakthrough over-the-shoulder combat.
That's true. I guess like this one wasn't like the first one where it was the fixed camera or anything. Like this one does.
This was huge.
This is unusual.
Yeah.
Over-the-shoulder.
Go ahead.
Over-the-shoulder, and I know you are. Over-the-shoulder combat was not common back then, and this one was, it was a little odd. You didn't get to move and aim at the same time. You had to stop in place to aim, and that really made the combat. Remake. That really made the combat intense. Yeah, very intense. No. In the remake, you can move around, man. You can move around while you're aiming. You're a little slower, but you can still move around.
It does not make it any easier, though. That was I went into the remake thinking, oh, we can move now. This is going to be cake. Yeah. Cake, man. Then I got to that first village.
Yeah.
with the
they,
guy
they
and
upped the
and burn him.
they upped the intensity
I don't
of the
think-
enemies, I think.
Yeah.
I sat there probably after an hour or two going, I have died a double-digit amount of times.
Yeah.
I know, same thing
This
happened to me at the first village.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Like, what in the world? The remake made it crazy. The chainsaw guys are faster. They're harder to kill. It's just they did a lot of things with the AI, I think.
Yeah,
that
they
improved a
found
lot.
other ways to compensate so that it still feels modern but not easier. Because that's the thing about like modern controls and stuff. They do make games easier simply because you have better control of your character, and that makes a huge difference in the ease. Like if you feel like you have control of your character, makes things way easier. So if they hadn't upped the ante, it would have felt a lot easier.
So this is one I think should go in Game Changer, and I'll make my argument.
I agree.
I'll make my argument quickly. This completely changed the Resident Evil series.
Yeah.
It went from exclusively like this kind of weird horror game, you know, with the fixed camera, to a proper action horror game.
Yeah.
But it's still retained. It's still retained. It's it's horror origin. It's a perfect mix of the two. I'm talking about the original, of course. Now the remake, amazing. You know, they took everything that was good about RE4, they improved it, they made it even better, and it's a faithful adaptation of the first game, and they greatly expanded on everything that made it good.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Changer is what I vote for.
Yeah, I would agree with that, because the thing about it is, like, even from the perspective of the remake, like, I feel like the remake has, not to say that this was the first one that was a good remake of a game, but I think it kind of does, for a lot of people, kind of open up their eyes to understanding, like, wow, like, this is what a remake could be capable of if, like, actually given proper time and energy into making a remake. Like you can make a game, like a remake doesn't just have to be a facelift for an old classic. Like a remake can be a downright like reimagining of the same game.
A new game.
Yeah.
I remember that being a beautiful month, man, when they came out with Resident Evil 4 remake and Dead Space remake in a very short amount of time.
Yeah.
And I was like, how can you do this? One's going to be worse than the other, but they achieved it. And going back to my argument for Game Changer, the creator faced an onslaught of criticism when he said this is going to be third person or over the shoulder. And everyone's like, this is going to break the formula. People were mad. There was a lot of, or if they weren't mad, they were at least concerned, going, this is going to change everything. It's not RE without the fixed perspective.
Right.
And they're calling it the best one that exists. They really did something huge with that first game, or the fourth game, the first version of a over-the-shoulder game.
Yeah, we know.
Still doesn't have the scariest, in my opinion, scene out of the series. But I mean, you can't beat the baby thing in the basement of RE Village. I think that's the first time I played an RE game where I sat there and I had to pause it for a second, like this is nightmare, like right now.
Yeah.
But it has all of these mechanics that make it both blockbuster movie-like with the action, but with the suspense that really holds up in the series, and the inventory. Gosh, we can't have an RE game without inventory organizing.
Yeah.
And I'm so glad they kept the cheesy one-liners, because that's essential.
It kind of makes the games in a lot of ways. Like the fact that they went with all of the one-liners in there, like they're so eye-roll inducing, but in a lot of ways that helps to add that levity to the darkness of the overall game.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, you guys want to move on?
Yeah. What's next?
Next title is Paper Mario: The 1,000-Year Door.
Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure I need to change my pants just after hearing that. This is absolutely one of mine. Any of you guys? I can't remember. Did any of you guys add to it?
I think didn't I throw in paper? I can't remember if I threw in a Paper Mario, it would have been this one.
Oh, absolutely. If anyone ever throws in Paper Mario for a discussion, like saying Paper Mario nowadays means Paper Mario 1,000-Year Door, not the original Paper Mario, because 1,000-Year Door is such an incredible game. Or
Sticker Star.
Or all of the other ones. Sticker Star is a good game, but I don't think most people would argue that it's better than 1,000-Year Door.
Right.
This game is quite possibly my favorite game of all time. Like this one, wow. Like this one is very much up there. I for a single run through, Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom hold the record for the number of hours I pumped into a single run through. But if we add through if we add up all of the times that I have replayed Thousand Year Door, it could quite possibly beat those ones, because I replay this game once every 2 to 3 years. I don't quite do it yearly, just because who has that much time? I would never play any other game these days as an adult with a job. But it's like, that said, I replay this game all the time, and I never get tired of it. I never get tired of the story. I never get tired of the combat. I never get tired of it. It is so fun. It is so charming. It is such a well done, satisfying combat system. And you could bring up any part of this game, and I'll tell you why it's perfect. I love this game so much.
You guys will have to remind me, because I haven't actually played this, but this is essentially like a hardcore RPG with like some real-time elements, right?
Yeah.
I just want to say Admiral Bobbery.
Oh, man. Admiral Bobbery. What a guy.
Wow, that's like the first time in a Paper Mario game where things got kind of emotional.
I know, it was a little dark, like talking about his story when you're reading that letter and everything. Like, I remember first time reading that, I was like younger, but reading that, I was like, this is really sad. Why are they doing this?
Yeah, between that and Dupless and the whole involvement of you trying to get your identity back.
Yeah.
But I agree with you. Because every time I go back and play this, because it's been a while. Thank goodness they made the remake, because otherwise I haven't had access to a GameCube.
Oh, I dust off my GameCube, but now I don't have to, because they have the Switch. But the thing is I probably still will play it on my GameCube for the nostalgia of it. The Switch just means that I can take it with me. Like, I've got a vacation coming up with Emily this summer where we're going up north, and for the most part, we're in the cabin. My intention isn't to sit around and be a recluse, but I may sit there, and just for the sake of it being as enjoyable and relaxing of a time as possible, I may bring this game with me and try to beat Paper Mario while I'm up there in the cabin, just sitting there, because we got this nice cabin that's going to have its own little screened-in porch just for the two of us there. And so there's a very good chance I will spend many a morning/evening just sitting there playing Paper Mario while I look out at the lake. Morning,
sipping coffee and watching the
it's gonna be amazing. But yeah, no, like they made the remake, and I was so stoked about it. And it was one of those, so we're talking about how great the remake is for Resident Evil 4 because of how much they built on it. With the Paper Mario remake, they really didn't do much except for upping the graphics. But in this scenario, I honestly have no issue with that, because I don't even know what they would do to improve the game. Like, I agree. Like, I don't think there's, like, the only thing they could really do is if there are any sort of like grindy elements, it's like you could find some ways to tweak that to make it a little less grindy. But honestly, the flip side of it is that's kind of what makes it fun. It gives me a reason to keep playing the game longer. So it's kind of like, it's kind of like what we talked about with Pokemon, where they took away a lot of the grindy elements, but that kind of took away a certain aspect of what made Pokemon. So it's like they without removing that, they left a lot of the spirit of what the game is, and it just, oh my gosh, I could sit here and I could go on like this for hours and hours. I love this game so much.
And it's definitely not a complaint. Like, I think the only thing they tweaked about it was some of the dialogue. Like, here and there, they changed it up a little bit. It's still exactly.
Oh yeah, that was one of the things that I actually loved that Nintendo did. So one of the things, this is fun deep lore trivia. But in with what's the character, the siren that joins you? What's her name? Vivian. So in the original Japanese, it's much more clear that, like, I don't remember the exact nature of it, because there's, with Japanese, translating from Japanese to American English, or just English, or any other language really, the concept of gender gets complicated, because my understanding, and I may be very culturally insensitive here, I'm not trying to be, I'm trying to understand what I've understood before, but the concept of gender is much more loose and fluid within Japanese language and culture. And so because of that, it's a direct translation makes it more complicated for Vivian, and in the original they kind of, like, churched it up a little bit by having Vivian just be a straight up girl. But in this remake, they made it much more clear that like there's sort of that ambiguity that if I'm interpreting things properly, makes it much more clear that Vivian is more of a trans character. And I love that they did that. Like, I love that Nintendo was like, you know what, screw it, let's dive in and let this be a thing. This is a modern world, we can have this discussion. And like, especially the world, not to dive into current geopolitics or anything like that, but in the world we're in right now, I love that there's an aspect of examples of things that are like, no, we are willing to push the envelope and have this discussion, because I like to just try and put it all in an envelope. I think it's ridiculous that we're still having this conversation about things like this, because we have so much bigger issues than to care about who other people are and how they choose to live their lives and like how they want to live their lives. Let people be who they want to be. And so I love that they did that, and that was one of the small changes that they made with the remake, and I love that they did that. Like, I love that they were willing to say like, no, this was originally what we wanted to create with this art, this is who we wanted this character to be, let's be open and honest about that. And I think that's a great thing.
You would think, just from if you were just walking into this conversation now in the middle of what you were saying there, and be like, oh, we got to be talking about like The Last of Us Part 2 or something like that.
I was just thinking about The Last of Us Part 2.
Nintendo was doing this all the way back in like 2002.
This is Paper Mario that they're able to do this and succeed doing that.
Yeah.
And it's really neat. And I mean, my big thing too is how we're mentioning how this is a harder RPG. What I have found a big difference in, and this is going away from anything truly deep except for mechanics, so it's not as good. But when I first played the first version, I remember playing the first one so many times, N64, just straight up Paper Mario, that to the degree is, unless you're really bad at RPGs, number one, Paper Mario is pretty straightforward. You like all of the battles, especially some of the big the boss battles, they're kind of linear. They're played out already.
Yeah.
They kind of have a script to them. You get to a point, dialogue happens, the person gets weaker, the person gets stronger, something happens, it's over.
Right.
But Thousand Year Door, every single time you play it, even if you have the same badges, unless you're real good on the quick time actions, like it's a tougher one. Yeah. It's not as easy to just go from point A to B, even though you're still kind of doing that in the story. It's a lot more technical.
Yeah, like so it does through the use of badges and stuff. It does a really good job of making it so that anyone can find a way to get through them, regardless of your skill. But the more you actually try to learn the game, learn the mechanics, like you say, get those quick times going, like figure out what badges stack well. Like you can, it really does reward that, and like you can make it like an easier experience. It can be a funnier experience with some of the badges that just make goofy things happen. Like there's you can really kind of tailor the thing, and it's fascinating that they did that. Like you can tailor the runs. Like each playthrough ends up being a little different for me, even though there is no character customization beyond just like, oh, am I upping health or am I upping flower power right now? It's like you don't have like character archetypes. You're not like, oh, I'm doing a barbarian this run. It's like it's all Mario with his boots and his hammer, and yet you can have wildly different runs because of how they did it, and it's so clever.
It's kind of like Paper Mario figured out the whole Final Fantasy VII materia mechanic with the badges. Yeah, like as long as you stick to, except materia levels up, the badges don't. You find new ones, but with all the different combos of badges and the BP that you got to stick them on, like it does make your approach, your playing style unique. Yeah, you might be better at jumping. Oh, all right, let's put a lot more jumping badges on. Yeah, okay, now we got a pokey. We can't jump anymore. Yeah, so, a lot of cool stuff there. Yeah,
it's so interesting. Good. You're talking about this game. I remembered it having quick time events, but I haven't really played it very much. There's a new game that came out recently, which you guys have probably heard of, Clair Obscur, Expedition 33. That's an RPG, and it has quick time events where you can like dodge or parry bosses' attacks. Sounds very similar, actually.
It could be.
Yeah, and like when I say quick time, it's a little different than like in the RE ones where it's like in the middle of a cutscene where you're trying to tap A real quick to get away from a Indiana Jones boulder. These ones are active in battle, and you kind of have to practice to get real sharp with them.
Yeah, like
this is the same deal actually in
I got you.
Yeah, it's like it's not to say that the games are anything alike, but the way the mechanics are structured. Well, like and like the one that I'm going to bring up, like it's not to say that the games are the game that I'm going to bring up is anything the same way, but it's similar to how with Dark Souls you're rewarded for learning what the other bosses do and figuring out the timing for a block or a dodge or something like that. It's the same concept. It's wildly different application in game style, but the principle is there. Where it's like if you learn when the timing is like, oh, right as they're about to land their hammer on your head, if you press the block button, you can get your you can either get your dodge in or like your guard in, or you can even like counterattack them with it depending on the scenario.
Yeah, I still haven't figured out, even after all these years, the perfect parry. I could do it every once in a while, but it's like, whoops, I meant to hit A. That's cool.
There's the perfect parry. I'm good enough at them that I try it every time. I don't nail it every time, but I'm good enough that I'm like, this is more worth it than just reducing the damage, because if I can get the hits, and it's so fun.
Sometimes the perfect parry, like if you hit it right, like you would negate even over damage. Like if someone hit you for 3, you would just hurt them and you wouldn't get hurt anything.
Yeah.
And I couldn't figure. I could do it every once in a while, but it was one of those ones just couldn't do it. Perfect parry and Cody don't get along.
Yeah. So
wow, you guys have gushed about this game.
I was gonna say, yeah, like you guys got to cut me off because I'll keep going. So I wouldn't put this one in Game Changer. I'm tempted to put it in Everyone Must Play. But also still holds up today. I think holds true exactly because we're talking about they made a remake and all they did was make it prettier, because otherwise the game was perfect and it didn't really need to do anything. So
it's also a stylized it's supposed to look like paper. It's timeless.
I was gonna say it's
that's one thing we didn't even mention was how Paper Mario the 1,000-Year Door actually gave you paper things to do as opposed to the first one. You really
the powers it's thematically right on point. Is so good.
You could be a paper airplane. Another one, every once in a while, your guy would like fall from the heavens slowly because he's a piece of paper. Yeah. But in this, you get to do the roll up thing, and I'll go off on that.
Paper boat sometimes, so good.
Yes.
So I don't know, like I guess I would most likely actually put it on still holds up today. I think it goes without saying that everyone must play this, I would say. But the flip side of it is, like, as much as I love this game, I do get it if a slow-paced story type game isn't your thing. Like I do get that. That hasn't stopped us from putting like The Last of Us or anything up in there. So like
I think we said it a few times. The whole how the like RPGs aren't for everybody.
Right.
Well, let's be honest here. Everyone must play as a category is, disingenuous.
Yeah,
not everyone is going to play. Not everyone is going to play.
It really is just like our assertion of being like, I'm going to keep bothering you until you humor me and play this game.
Let's say that anybody who enjoys gaming should play these games.
Yeah. No, like I would want to put it there, but I'll accept if you guys want to talk me down a little bit from that and put it on.
Well, I'll defer to you guys. I'll defer to you guys. I've barely touched this game.
Well, if we're going to have full range, I think Cody, you and me, I think we agree everyone must play. So boom, there it is. Everyone suck it up and play this game. It's on a modern system now. You have no excuse.
Yeah.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah. Let's do it. Let's get it up there.
Perfect.
I had to think it through because really and truly, it is a good story.
Yeah. And if you don't like it,
if you're trying to,
if you don't like it out there in the audience, like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll ignore your comments. So there you go.
If you don't like it, look at the other games we have in the Everyone Must Play. There's plenty of them. They're all good. You don't got to play them all.
Also, I feel like there's a pattern. Like, there's definitely a clear pattern on what we'll put as Everyone Must Play.
Yeah.
But that's fine.
Yeah,
this whole project was never meant to be we're trying to make the correct list. It's us going like, this is our list and you can deal with it.
We're not academic professors coming to a consensus.
I'm not sitting here writing for PC Mag or anything like that trying to make an objective list. Like, this is as subjective as it gets.
But if you want to hire me, here's my tag.
All right. Yeah, that's true. But I'll still if everyone wants to pay me money to say these things, by all means, I will happily continue to do it.
The only reason I had to stop and think, because I'm thinking Paper Mario 1,000-Year Doors and Everyone Must Play, but Zelda Ocarina of Time isn't, because I know that one is still widely considered by many as the greatest game ever made.
It's true.
It's tough,
Yeah.
but and I don't want to even enter the realm of comparing the story qualities between the two, but something about Paper Mario found a way, because whereas Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time is great,
Mm-hmm.
it's still like it's for a certain audience that's looking for a certain story.
Yeah.
Whereas Paper Mario, you got the same kind of story, but it's more accessible to everybody.
Yeah, I think
you still have all these deeper elements.
Yeah, it's presented in a way that I think has much broader appeal, and many more people of many different backgrounds, of many different age groups, can appreciate and recognize what Paper Mario is going for.
You guys have really talked this one up. I'll have to
get on it. Come on, man. I'll let you borrow it. I've got like 3 different copies in different ways.
You got a Switch. You could go get the remake.
Yeah.
It's good.
It's right there, man.
It's really good. It's worth it. I don't think you would be disappointed. I think you would enjoy it, Scott.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we should get on to the next title.
We should. You guys gave me way more time than I should have been allowed to have on that game.
That's all right. We got plenty of time for these last.
It's
titles.
true.
The next title is Elden Ring.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. If I didn't put that one on there, it's only because you guys had it on there, and I was like willing to let it.
You actually nominated it, and I deliberately took it off my list because I wanted to, otherwise I would just nominate nothing but Souls games.
That's true. Actually, I remember that conversation.
I feel like I saw you guys have it, and I deliberately kept it because
you were like, all right, good, it's covered. We can use that slot strategically. Yeah, no, absolutely. I think this one should be on there. This game drives me absolutely bonkers. This is another one I'm presently playing on my channel. And you can watch the episodes. It drives me absolutely bananas, up the wall, and I keep coming back to it. I can't stop myself, because when you finally get that success, ooh, does it feel good. And it's like that with every Souls-like game, but what makes Elden Ring stand out to me is just how big and open the world is. That's what sets it apart for me. With like the Dark Souls games, there's a certain prescribed pathway you have to go. So there's like a certain degree of like, if you're beating your head against a brick wall, you better keep going, because this is what you have to do. Whereas with Elden Ring, at any given time, there are plenty of other things you could go do in the meantime until you sort of get better at the game, level up just enough to get just enough extra hits that you can take off a couple extra hits on that boss to get through. And for me, that's what tips Elden Ring over the edge from other Souls-like games, which I do enjoy. But Elden Ring is easily my favorite of all of those FromSoft games.
This is the exact argument I was going to make.
Yeah.
Of all of the modern FromSoft games, I'm not talking about Kingsfield or anything like that, because I don't think there's anybody who's actually played those games. I don't believe that they exist. But of all the modern FromSoft games, Elden Ring is the most accessible to a more general audience.
Yeah.
It's also just probably the best game that they've made.
Oh, there's plenty of people that would probably argue, because of the reasons that make it accessible, they're like, oh, they diluted what it means to be like a Souls-like game.
Purists. There are purists who say that it is,
and they're entitled to their opinions. And the beautiful thing about opinions is it's okay to be wrong with them. So, boom, got them.
Opinions are like buttholes. Everybody has one, and they all stink.
I'll be honest. I mean, when it first came out, I didn't play it yet. Obviously, I only started playing it because if Scott could have helped it, he would have shoved an IV into my arm that would have had nothing but Elden Ring going straight into my bloodstream for months on end of not only the game but the lore. And I appreciate that now. When it first was released, I had that little thing rise up. I just teetered on it. I never went in the dark direction of that, saying it's watered down. But I'm like, it kind of feels, just by looking at it, it looks like I'm looking at Dark Souls.
Yeah.
But then I played it.
Yeah.
And I had Scott in my ear whispering sweet nothings of the lore the entire time, in the best of ways.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, holy smokes, there's deepness. I know there's depth in Dark Souls as well. Dark Souls 3. Dark Souls 3 is...
I'll tell you one thing that distinguishes Elden Ring from the Dark Souls games is Dark Souls is as is bleak. It is dark, black, bleak.
Yeah.
Elden Ring,
except for the one guy who's like praised the sun. That was like the best, the brightest part of the whole game. If you know that's the brightest part, you're in for a ride.
Yeah.
Elden Ring has a much like more diverse color palette. I mean, we're just talking about the visuals now. Also,
right.
Much brighter color palette. It's a little more cheerful to explore.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what, there's no experience like being dropped in the middle of that world and then like just experiencing it. I wish that I could forget all the times I've played it and just try it for the first time again. That would be amazing.
No, I'm with you.
But what I have to say about Elden Ring is basically just, condensed version of what I had already said about Dark Souls and Dark Souls 3. It's the lore, man, and it's the tight, amazing combat. They refined it even better from Dark Souls 3.
Yeah.
And if you play Dark Souls 3, the combat in Elden Ring is essentially the same. It's just better.
Yeah, just tightened up, made it a bit better, more satisfying, all that kind of stuff.
I like what they did in Elden Ring compared to Dark Souls with what you said, Scott. The being able to come into this world, you get hit with the wall, you can divert, go a different way. But what I also liked was like the little sub-dungeon sort of situation too. Like you could be dinking around out in the wild open wondering what to do, and then you find a cave and that turns out there's a boss at the end of that cave. Like there was so many different exploration ways too that you can kind of discover your own bosses. That didn't seem like they were big to the story, but of course the other Scott would
everything
book,
is relevant to some story in some way. It's amazing.
There's still one of the mini bosses that haunts me is that one cat sphinx-like thing from like the very first few minutes of the game.
It's horrifying.
That still is in my head. But they just did a really good job of they did a really good job of branching out so that the big giant bosses weren't the only big giant bosses. You can go find more, and if you think you found it all, you're probably wrong.
And if you think that the big first boss is too tough for you, you can piss off and just go explore most of the map. There's only a very small portion of the map that is not available to you at the very beginning of the game. Now with that being said, Souls-like games are always going to be inaccessible to a certain audience. But with that being said, Elden Ring is the most accessible of all of them. Even to more casual gamers, I feel like they could still enjoy this game. They may not beat it, but they could still enjoy it and get an interesting experience out of it.
No, I agree completely. And one of the things that I like about how big the world is too is like you really can, because of how big it is and because of all the different pathways you can take, each time you play the game can be different. So like I've beaten the game before just on my own, just having fun playing it. And I'm very intentionally playing it very differently with a very different type of character on my stream because I didn't want to turn it into just like me going through the motions. I'm playing it and I pulled up a guide.
Another bonk build.
Like I pulled up a guide that walks me through like the most efficient way to experience as much of all the different NPC like storylines and stuff like that as possible within a single run. And so like it kind of wanders me through that stuff. And so I'm doing that to try and focus on the story just exactly so I can really appreciate the lore. Because when I originally played it, I was kind of just wandering around, letting myself explore. And because of that, I never really got a cohesive story going for things. And it was hard for me to remember who had told me what and who was doing what at any given time. And so using this guide has been doing that. But then the flip side of that is playing it that way while also trying to play a different type of character than I normally do. Because I basically have like I'm kind of trying to turn them into a big giant greatsword swinger, which is not how I play this game. And it is by doing that along with following a specific path to try and do storylines rather than just like doing the types of grinding and bosses that I feel like I'm ready for and can handle. I am so out of my league at many points in this game, and it changes the experience so much. And I honestly love it as much as it makes me want to scream and tear my hair out. I love it.
I know. I tried being out of my element recently and did a dagger and parry with shield build, which is very different from what I usually do. I usually just pick up the biggest.
I was gonna say you usually do what I'm doing right now with like the greatsword and find like the biggest like soul caliber sword you can and go for it.
the biggest
You
possible
Monster Hunter.
anime, the biggest possible ridiculous anime sword, and just smash. That's my favorite.
Yeah.
But yeah, the way that you can vary up the combat really helps you challenge yourself if you're looking for you're looking for that.
Yeah.
I like the claws. Scott, no, I like the claws. The sub ability is the phase step thing, the shadow step.
Yeah.
Oh, they're very unique. They're very unique, and they actually added to those in the DLC. There's beast claws now, which have even further different movesets.
See, and that's kind of more typically my type
of greatsword guy. But when those claws came out, I'm Wolverine, baby.
Yeah,
it's fun.
That was more my instinct. It was to be like use those claws, dual wield type things, and be like a dodge, death by 1,000 cuts type of character. That's my instinct. And so playing the greatsword when you don't have time to swing even once in between your enemies half the time, like that's a tough one for me.
Now, some of the bosses are really inaccessible to like a common audience. Like Melania is probably one of the most difficult bosses I've ever played. Yeah. And I did not beat her alone the first many times that I beat her. I only beat her solo like over a year later, and it took hours.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm a little worried about what's gonna happen for my channel when I'm playing that game. I'm a little worried about what's gonna happen when I come to that one because I'm largely just doing it on my own because the times that I record are so wonky. It's so hard to like even think about having anyone join me, and so I might have to call in just like randos to come help me with that one. But I'm trying to do all the bosses as solo as I can, just as like a challenge to myself. But I'm getting to a point, like I'm already kind of getting to a point with some of the bosses where I'm like, I don't know about that, man. We'll see. Because the concern that I have is like in terms of just like the tenacity to sit there and do it. I will fight the same boss for months if that's what it takes. But in terms of producing things for my channel, I don't know how much like as little as I care about like getting viewers and stuff like that. If I upload 10 subsequent episodes of just me dying at the same boss again and again and losing my mind over it, I don't know how good audience retention's gonna be for that.
It would get a little boring, but you could have like a nice clip show, against the what's the one song, the game show.
Oh yeah, the Benny Hill theme song. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely could do that one.
Just getting wailed on.
Those viewers out there too that like to watch torture.
That's true.
You might reel some of those in.
I'm considering for those types of things, like when I come up to a boss like that, find a weekend when I have a couple hours and do like a special episode of just me for like a couple hours, and like I'll upload all of the hours and then I'll just like clip out the last final success and have that be like the numbered episode, and the rest of it is just like Elden Ring suffering part 1.
failed run number 100,
and just do that so people who like it can enjoy it, and then everyone else can be like, I'm going to skip that one.
Get out.
So this one's difficult to categorize, but if we're going to put a Souls game somewhere on the list, this is the one. This is the one Souls game everybody should try.
Yeah.
Bloodborne is very tough, and it's not easily accessible. You have to bang your head against the wall. Sekiro's the same way.
Yeah.
Combat's really different, but once the combat clicks, you just get it.
Yeah.
You just get it. But it has a very, very high skill barrier.
Right.
I guess we can say to the everyone must play category, it is everyone must play, not everyone must win or everyone must be good at.
Yeah, even if you only play it for 10 minutes just to know. Like, everyone should just know. Like, you should know. It'll make everyone appreciate just how much more accessible and easy every other game they've ever played is.
Yeah.
I don't know. Part of me almost wants to say game changer for it, just because, like, this game took the Souls formula and then added one of the most satisfying open worlds. And it's such a massive game that it's like, I'm kind of like, man, I don't know if anyone thought that they could successfully pull off a game this big, this challenging, and make it as accessible for as many people as it is, even if it's not accessible to everyone.
Yeah. That's a good argument too.
Yeah. And
it could go in either one.
Like, not Elden Ring like.
That's true.
I know
that's fair. That's actually a really fair argument. Like, it's a modulation on something else that is more of a game changer.
There is a legitimate criticism of the game, which I feel like I have to plug. If you love something, you have to be willing to be able to criticize it.
Oh yeah, I agree.
And I love this game with all of my heart. I have to say that
I will never criticize Paper Mario. You shut up.
You sound just like my mother.
I have to say that the latter third of the game is a little bit dry. They probably could have trimmed it up just a little bit. Like the mountaintop of giants is not very interesting. It's mostly just barren.
That's fair.
It's kind of boring up there, if we're being completely honest. They could have trimmed that up a little bit and made it a little more streamlined. I think it would have been like basically perfect. And we didn't even talk about the DLC.
I remembered it.
We didn't talk about the DLC, and we don't have time to talk about it.
Yeah, I was saying, like, I guess with the arguments, I would say let's dump it at everyone must play, and people, if they think it's too hard, they can cry about it, because that's what the game wants you to do.
Well, that's what's so accessible about it. If you're not very good at it, you can summon a friend. You can summon the.
That's true, especially with the release. It's not the official game, but like with the people having made like the seamless co-op, like you really can turn it into a fun like multiplayer experience where someone who loves it can just kind of like handhold someone else through, so they can enjoy the scenery without having to actually.
You can summon 8 friends and just do a gank squad on Melania.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, so it's like they found ways to make it accessible for everyone if you want to experience the world, which I think everyone should, because it is such a well-made, beautiful world in its own way.
Hopefully everyone has their friendly neighborhood lore junkie Scott out there.
That's right. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
willing to help.
You know what the last game.
Yeah, so that kind of leaves this last one, and I'll just explain for the audience who doesn't know. Our last one, like officially, that we wanted to go over is Assassin's Creed. Here, we've got that on there, and that was the last one of the draw. We have Minecraft and Terraria, which we kind of left on as honorable mentions because they were ones that we ultimately like felt belonged on a list talking about like best games, but like we just all had preferences over top of it, so we just kind of figured we'll use whatever time we have at the end to just kind of mention those ones. But for like our big list, the last one that we wanted to really go over was Assassin's Creed, and we specifically have Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, but I think a lot of Assassin's Creed can kind of go down to like the old school like Xbox 360 era Assassin's Creeds, like all of those ones. They all kind of have that spirit up until we kind of leave the Desmond plot line, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
So I nominated this one. Do you guys mind if I?
Go for it, please. Start us off.
Enthusiastic. So I'm just going to say right away where this one needs to be grouped. Game changer. And now I'll go back and explain why.
I'm open to the suggestion, and I want to hear your reasons.
Brotherhood was the second game in the Ezio trilogy, and the Ezio trilogy is just peak Assassin's Creed. It's the best of the best of Assassin's Creed.
Why it's the only one.
All the newest games. Shadows, Valhalla, Mirage, whatever, forget about them. They're not Assassin's Creed games. They're Vikings games.
They have departed very heavily from what originally made Assassin's Creed amazing.
They're not Assassin's Creed games. They are just games with the Assassin's Creed brand.
They're still fun games. We'll even offer that, to if anyone's getting ready to seethe and rage at us, they're still fine games. But they have departed. They have very much departed from what originally made Assassin's Creed such an amazing franchise.
I won't even get on my
Black Flag is still a good game. Black Flag is still a good game.
Yeah, Black Flag was a great game.
I won't even rant about it.
Yeah, it's still a great game. That's your point stands.
But the Ezio trilogy was just the best of the best. I mean, Ezio was like, a charming rogue. He starts off as a complete douchebag, and then you kind of get his redemption arc very quickly following through. And then you see him become kind of like the wizened, the wise one compared to other people within the series. In Assassin's Creed Revelations. And it's just a great arc for him, the 3 games. Assassin's Creed Brotherhood was my pick for the best one of all the Assassin's Creed games. It introduced the multiplayer, and this is why it goes in Game Changer. Yeah, the multiplayer. I don't know if you guys remember this, but this came out when we were in college. I think it came out in 2010 or 2011. And the multiplayer, there's never been anything like it. I don't think there's been anything subsequently.
Yeah, it really hasn't. I can't think of anything.
Incredibly unique. It's so much fun.
Yeah.
Psychological. You break down. You have to think things through. You have to be deceptive.
Yeah, like it opened up. A lot of other multiplayers have taken the spirit of it, but none of them have really executed it in the same way. Like you could argue that in some ways, like some things like Among Us kind of use the spirit of that, of like having to be deceptive, having to try and be discerning, trying to hide in plain sight and all that kind of stuff. Like they take elements of it, but nothing has really ever been like the multiplayer for Brotherhood.
No, it's and for those who don't know, in the multiplayer, basically you're put into the game as an NPC. There's tons of other NPCs walking around, but you're controlling the NPC, of course. And your goal is you're trying to target somebody, but also at the same time, parallel, somebody is targeting you, and you have to evade them. And you have various means of evading them. Smoke bombs, grappling hooks, so you can get away. Just a
marshmallow assassination on steroids.
Yeah, and it's like you say, the thing that's fascinating about it is you have your target and you're someone else's target, and there's kind of like this big daisy chain of everyone targeting everyone, and so it kind of becomes this race of trying to get your target first. But if you're too brash about it, you make yourself an easy target for the person who has you. So you have to figure out that balance, what works for you. And some people are going to be more brash about it, and other people are going to be much more deceptive about it.
Yep, it took a lot of nuance, and it's the most unique multiplayer game I've ever played. There's there's a lot of multiplayer games that I played more, that I enjoyed more, but nothing is this unique. And nothing has ever really done this again, as far as I know. Like you've mentioned, Among Us has sort of that element.
Yeah, well, a lot of games have similar elements to it, but I can't think of one that really tries to properly emulate that experience as an entire experience.
Well, anyway, that's why it's a game changer. But other than that, it's just also a great story. It's set in Rome, which is awesome. It has the Borgias, which are one of the most compelling villains in all the Assassin's Creed games. Very great characters. And it was before the notorious, "Where's your hook blade?"
Ezio, where is your hook blade?
Where is your hook blade? Which that made me cringe.
Yeah. No, like I think you kind of bring up a good point, even if not like intentionally. This game came out in an era that I miss. And this was kind of a peak of an era where a game tried to be good at both having a good single player and a good multiplayer. It's like so many games will throw all their eggs in one basket, right? Like, you get Call of Duty that pretty much like any game past like the first one or two Call of Duties in the golden era of them, like the first one or two like Modern Warfares tried to have a really good story and a really compelling single player game. But then beyond that, it's all been like, we'll just slap some basic Tom Clancy slop together for the sake of saying it has a single player. But everyone knows it's the multiplayer, right? It's a competitive multiplayer. That's true. Or vice versa, where it's like they'll slap together like, there's like a multiplayer thing, kind of like with like the Mass Effect multiplayer. It's like, everyone loves multiplayer, so we'll throw a multiplayer in here. But really they were trying to do they were just trying to make a single player game. Like Assassin's Creed Brotherhood really did a good job of saying like, well, why not just make a good version of both? Like, why not have a really good single player game and then actually thoughtfully have a properly tied in multiplayer that compels people to want to play? It's like, why not do both?
It wasn't difficult for them to do either, because the concept is incredibly simple. But it's just perfect. It just works.
So it's so I think for that reason too, I actually am tempted to agree that we can put it in Game Changer. The only sad part about it is it should have changed the game more than it did, and it's mostly because people didn't take enough proper notes.
I agree with that 100%. That's why I'm being kind of quiet. You guys are kind of hitting all the good points here.
Yeah. Making me kind of want to go back and play Assassin's Creed again, the old ones.
I wish that we could still play the multiplayer, but I imagine the servers are.
Oh yeah, there's no way those. There might be someone somewhere who has kind of like hotwired it together. Like a lot of games do that, but I don't. Like if Brotherhood does, there's not many people clamoring for it, which I think is too bad. I think it doesn't quite get the recognition it deserves for that. Really,
I think it's the best one in the Assassin's Creed series in general. The last good game I think was probably Black Flag. And then let's admit it was a kind of a slow downhill.
They're all games that I feel like I've played many of them, and I'm always like, I enjoy this game, but I don't really feel like I'm playing an Assassin's Creed game. Like for me, it feels kind of like you're playing the Dollar Tree knockoff version of it, where it's like there's something satisfying about this, but it just doesn't really have the same soul that they used to have.
I agree.
It's a shame.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, That's it for all of our.
I say that's all of those. Do you guys?
Games.
So you guys like Terraria and Minecraft are bigger ones for you guys. I have played both of them.
Cody that nominated.
Yeah, like I've played both of them, and I recognize the sort of value and importance of them as games, because I do think, especially Minecraft, I think Minecraft in its own way could be considered a game changer in and of itself. It just was never one that clicked with me.
Yeah, on a social and a video game, just cultural standpoint, even back before the little kids got their hands on it and made it what it is now.
I mean, it was a phenomenon.
Yeah.
It was a phenomenon. It was a pioneered effort that came from one fella, and it really turned into something really big.
I think it demonstrated in a lot of ways, like you're saying, and maybe in some ways Binding of Isaac is kind of the same way, just because of the, like, what was his name, Macmillan, being kind of like the guy that made it. But it demonstrated that you don't have to have a massive AAA team to produce a world phenomenon game. Like, you can make a game. It doesn't have to be complicated. It doesn't have to be in amazing graphics that take 8 million people in a studio. You can have just one dude make a game that continues to be fun for everyone.
Yeah, it was. I mean, this was a zeitgeist. It was lightning in a bottle. Yeah. When Minecraft came out, everyone was talking about it, and it was like this underground thing that like slowly came to the surface, and then everyone was talking about it.
And the way it's put together, like the things people can do in that game, like people have made working computers within the game.
Yeah.
It's just using the physics as they're introduced in the game. It is fascinating what they managed to accomplish with just making some blocks. And here's what the most fascinating thing to me about this game. It is so ubiquitous that it made Legos reinvent themselves. They have Minecraft Legos. Legos are just Minecraft. They always have been. They're blocks that make things, and yet somehow Minecraft convinced Legos to redefine themselves as Minecraft. Like, I don't get it. It's so confusing to me, but they did it. They did it. Those crazy sons of bitches, they did it.
What I will say, and not to turn on a coin, because I know these are both games that are in the miscellaneous afterburner category. The one game in my mind, there's a whole bunch of things I could say on this. Going to Terraria, just in case you haven't grabbed onto that.
I gathered we were heading that direction,
It's, if anyone compares and tries to say Terraria is just Minecraft, that's the one game I start rolling my sleeves up for.
Yeah.
Because that's like...
They're not really similar.
I would say I played both of them, like not a ton, but I played both of them, and like I don't really get that comparison. Like, it feels like they're being derivative and trying to rag on Terraria more than anything.
Because you get a pickaxe, it's because you get an axe and you start to mine stuff to get your resources, and you can build things a little bit. However, I also look at our. I'm calling back to our current single-use tier list here. Mm-hmm. The personal favorite, how there's 2 on there. Notice that I don't have one on there.
But
if I could get Terraria on there, that would be my all-time favorite game.
That's fair.
And I know it's not the most popular one. That game
we'll put that there.
Is the only game that I own.
You would be surprised, Cody. I think that Terraria and Minecraft both rank in the top 10 best-selling games of all time.
Oh yeah. Well, no, without a doubt. Without a doubt. That's why there's a reason these are still miscellaneous, and I still kind of kicked it off of my other list of 15 because of time. But, like, Terraria, it's the only game that I own, and I haven't really gotten to play as much lately just because of my work schedule and other things. Mm-hmm. But it's the only one that I have breached 2,000 hours on, and I'm willing to do 2,000 more.
Wow.
Like, there's that much in this game.
That is impressive. That's an impressive number.
So much. And you just got to get past that first hour or so.
Yeah.
And once you do that, holy smokes, folks, you get a grappling hook, the whole game changes.
Yeah.
And
I remember about 10 years ago, you and I played a lot of multiplayer on this game. It was over 10 years ago, actually.
Yeah. It's got Metroidvania, Zelda. It's got all these different little things shoved into one. Castlevania vibes. Metroidvania, again, calling back to that. Totally. You get a lot of these. You got bosses that are incredibly difficult. You got loot crazy, because you're always looking for loot. And you always find it, and you can still craft loot. There's that craft word coming back into the Minecraft thing. Yeah. But you can craft these. You can get guns. You can find NPCs in the world. You can move them into a colony so that you have them all in one place.
It's remarkably complex for how simple the game looks.
incredibly.
And you're right though. People who say that it's just a ripoff of Minecraft is completely disingenuous.
I was say, those are people who are looking for a reason to be mad at Terraria. Like,
it's either deliberate or they have never played it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, because I haven't played much of both of them, but from what I played from both of them, I was like, I remember when people said like, "Oh, Terraria, it's kind of like Minecraft. You should try it." And I tried it. I was like, "This is nothing like Minecraft. What are you talking about?"
Oh, this is what a stroke must feel like. Like
Terraria is far more of a dungeon delver, dungeon crawler with, like he said, Metroidvania elements.
Yeah, I feel like if I were to try both of these games again, I would find myself much more into Terraria these days, just because of how much of like a dungeon crawl element it has to it. Minecraft, the hard part for me with Minecraft is I usually need an objective. I'm not much of a just like wander around and make my own objectives in a game. I need a goal. Otherwise, I feel like, what am I wandering around for? What do I want to achieve? You know, like I need some sort of goal. And Minecraft, like, and this is what makes Minecraft beautiful, but it ultimately it's just a little too open for me as
it's a sandbox.
Yeah, and so that's why, like, I get it. I totally get why people love it. But it just doesn't do it for me. And Terraria is more likely to have stuff for me, but again, it is because it is such an open sandboxy type thing. It's hard for me to feel like I'm super into it.
There's still goals, dudes. And this is going to be big words, and I know that these big words are going to be like, for people out there, the video game internet fans.
It's okay. It's okay. Like, kick that anthill, kick that hornet's nest. Let's do this.
Terraria was the first Zelda Breath of the Wild. Like, if you think about everything that's in that game, same thing, exact thing. Same exact. You got the sky clouds. That's king. I mean, they were Tears of the Kingdom. You got the dungeon. You got these giant bosses that you can work up to. You can set yourself goals. You can do them in different orders. You can get different items from each one. You can also find bosses again out in the field, fight them again, get different things. Like, there's all these different approaches to all these different categories. You can go fishing, and it matters. It's not just a little side thing on the side. Like, you can work up to get these really rare items and stuff from that are game changers. It's just wild what they were able to do with a 2D. Yeah.
That's for me what's impressive about it is it's all side scrolling. Like, they managed to make it that involved as just a side scroller. Like, that's something that I would have never really thought could be achievable until I knew this game existed. So
I think there's another game that was basically made by one person.
Yeah.
Also, I don't remember much of the history.
They're still updating it now.
Yeah.
They're still updating it now. So there's so much stuff in there.
I
still haven't done everything.
There was the spiritual successor, Starbound, which frankly I don't think it was as good though. It was.
It sucks because it never got to be. Chucklefish got really far, and they made a really critical error. If you look back on all these different things, and they got accused of some stuff. And so Chucklefish left that project before it got to be great. And it's still good, but it has an end. You get to that end, even the post-game stuff where you become a bounty hunter, and that's cool and all, but it's still an end.
Yeah.
There's not much that you can fight after that. And it's still cool to go to all the other planets, No Man's Sky style. But they got essentially like the spark notes of this because it goes so much deeper. They opened the drawer to have all these people submit their own art. So, and then they kind of used it and didn't credit anybody, allegedly.
Gotcha.
And that blew up.
Yeah.
And so Chucklefish was like, you know what? We're going to go do some other projects now. And they did.
Yeah.
And so Starbound was left in the sky, unfortunately.
Well, you just coined a name for my original. You just coined a name for what's going to be my original video game now. Starborn. Thank you, Cody.
What did I? Oh,
Starborn. I'm just kidding.
That could be. Maybe you can. You can correct. What's the one that just came out from Bethesda? I suddenly forget.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. I know what you're talking about. I feel like that's such an indictment of exactly how that game is. The fact that we're like, wait, what was that one called again?
Yeah. I still try because it's got cool concepts, but that's a whole other podcast.
It really
Terraria.
Is.
If we can go back to that, because Terraria is just so. It was just so. If you haven't tried it and you're just writing it off as a Minecraft knockoff,
No,
I
it's
hate
not
to
that.
say
I'll say try it
You're
again with an open
wrong.
mind. Try it again with an open mind, I think is the message with it.
Oh my
yeah.
goodness.
Yeah.
Yeah, you are wrong. Go back.
It's
Try
disingenuous.
it.
It's
Apply.
disingenuous.
Yeah.
Cody's one of the least judgmental people that I know, and
Yeah.
I will
he's
tell you right
completely
up,
correct.
you are wrong until you correct that.
Yeah.
Like there's so much more to that. Try
Yeah.
it.
Oh lordy. All right, guys.
Well, here we are. We're at the end of the list.
I gotta get myself going here. But we finally did it. We finally finished the list. I'm content with how we have it. I'm surprised at how many we decided are game changers, but I don't disagree with any of them up there. I think.
Look at that. You put Terraria in the personal favorites. I didn't even see that.
Yeah, I dumped it in there for you. So we all have a personal favorite in there. Like I feel like that was fair. And then what we talked about Minecraft being a game changer, I thought that was fair. But yeah, no, this was I had so much fun with this project. I mean, clearly we did.
No,
we thought this was going to be like a 1, maybe 2 episode thing, and here we are with like 4 episodes into it. I had a blast talking about games with you guys, and I don't know. I would definitely not be opposed to doing it again. Maybe not as a list tier type thing, but maybe as another one if we come up with categories. But
by all means, like this would be fun to do again. I know our schedules kind of stink.
Oh my
when
gosh,
I say
it's
our
insane.
schedules,
But
I mean mine.
Yeah, like we should come up with ways to do this again. But for now, I'm going to do a quick sign off here, which means that I'm just going to tell the audience, thank you so much for joining us. We love and appreciate every single one of you always. I always try to leave with like parting words of wisdom. Sometimes they're great, really valuable things like brush your teeth and stuff like that. And other times they're a little less so. But this time what I'm going to say is, just have fun playing games. Games are so fun, and don't be embarrassed about the games you like. Don't feel like you have to like the same things as everyone else. I mean, if people are raving about a game, try it with an open mind, but if it's not for you, that's fine. Just have fun gaming. Games are so fun, and at any given time, people are going to be like, oh, games aren't what they used to be, but I disagree with that. I think at any given time, there are amazing games coming out as long as you're paying attention and keeping an open mind about them. So that's what I'll say to everyone else. So just play games and have so much fun with it, and talk with your friends about it. It's fun. I'm having so much fun sitting here talking with my friends about games.
Unless the game you like is Hentai Hitler, then you should be ashamed of yourself.
Hey, you know what? I will not accept
Everyone
that.
got their kicks, I guess.
Everyone's allowed to like what they like. Okay, just stop judging me. I mean them.
Unless you say Terraria is like Minecraft, then we got problems.
Yeah, then you're wrong. then Cody will fight you. Oh boy. All right, that's what we got for you guys. So yeah,
Thank you so much for having us on.
Yeah, absolutely, guys. So you guys can stick around for a second. I'll just do the final little sign off.
Thank you for the patience. I want to throw that out there. Thank you for the patience.
Yeah. Give me 1 second, and like I said, you guys can hang on. But yeah, it's the final thing I always say is love you. Bye.
The audio was used from Enviroboy with his permission and originally aired on his YouTube channel. 3 friends, countless games, and 1 definitive list.